What if I told you that hidden within your own body lies a force so powerful, so transformative, that ancient civilizations built entire spiritual systems around its mastery? This force has been deliberately obscured from modern understanding, yet it remains the most accessible path to unlocking extraordinary levels of vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual awakening that you possess right now. For thousands of years, mystics, sages, and spiritual adepts across every culture have guarded this secret knowledge, passing it down only to those deemed worthy of its profound implications. Today, you are about to discover what happens when you learn to master your sexual energy, not through suppression or denial, but through conscious cultivation and sacred transformation. The energy I speak of is not merely physical attraction or biological urge. It is the primordial creative force that animates all life, the same energy that formed galaxies, sprouted forests, and beats within your heart at this very moment. Ancient texts refer to it by many names: Jing in Chinese Taoism, Ojas in Sanskrit traditions, the philosopher's Mercury in Western alchemy. Yet regardless of the terminology, every advanced spiritual tradition recognized this energy as the foundation of human potential. Modern society has tragically disconnected us from this wisdom. We have been conditioned to view sexual energy as something base, something to be either indulged thoughtlessly or suppressed entirely. Both approaches lead to the same result: the dissipation and waste of your most precious resource. But when you understand how to work with this energy consciously, everything changes. Your body contains an intricate network of energy channels, pathways through which life force flows to nourish every cell, every organ, every system within you. These channels, known as meridians in Chinese medicine and nadis in yogic traditions, form a sophisticated energetic anatomy that modern science is only beginning to understand. At the base of your spine lies what Taoists call the lower dantian, your primary energy reservoir. This is where sexual energy originates and accumulates. When sexual energy builds in this lower center without conscious direction, it seeks natural release through the most direct pathway available. This is the body's default mechanism, designed to ensure survival and reproduction. However, ancient masters discovered that this same energy could be redirected upward through the spine, feeding the higher centers of consciousness located in the heart, throat, and crown of the head. This upward movement of sexual energy is not metaphorical or symbolic. It is a tangible, physiological process that you can learn to feel and control. As this refined energy ascends through your energetic anatomy, it undergoes a remarkable transformation. What begins as raw sexual impulse becomes refined life force, then pure consciousness itself. The Taoist tradition maps this journey through what they call the microcosmic orbit, a circular pathway that moves energy up the back of the body through the spine, over the crown of the head, and down the front through the heart and solar plexus, completing the circuit at the lower dantian. When you learn to consciously guide energy through this orbit, you create an internal dynamo that generates continuous vitality rather than depleting your reserves. In the Tantric traditions of India, this same process is understood through the framework of chakras, energy centers, that correspond to different levels of consciousness and bodily function. Sexual energy, when properly cultivated, awakens what is known as kundalini, the serpent power that lies dormant at the base of the spine. As kundalini rises through each chakra, it activates dormant capacities for creativity, compassion, communication, intuition, and ultimately, spiritual realization. But what does this mean for you in practical terms? What actually happens in your body and mind when you begin to master your sexual energy? The transformations are both immediate and progressive, affecting every aspect of your being in ways that compound over time. Physically, you will notice a dramatic increase in overall vitality and endurance. Your energy levels stabilize throughout the day rather than fluctuating wildly. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative, often requiring fewer hours for complete rest. Your immune system strengthens as life force that was previously dissipated now circulates through your organs, nourishing and regenerating them from within. Many practitioners report improvements in physical coordination, strength, and athletic performance. This makes perfect sense when you understand that sexual energy is the most concentrated form of life force available to the human body. When this energy is retained and recirculated rather than expelled, it serves as high-octane fuel for all physical processes. Your skin takes on a natural radiance, your eyes become brighter and more penetrating, and you develop what can only be described as magnetic presence. This is not imagination or wishful thinking. It is the natural result of maintaining a strong energetic field around your body, rather than constantly depleting it through unconscious energy loss. Mentally, the changes are equally profound. Brain fog lifts as if a heavy veil has been removed from your consciousness. Your ability to focus intensifies dramatically, allowing you to maintain concentration for extended periods without fatigue. Memory improves, both in terms of retention and recall. Creative inspiration flows more freely as the energy that was once scattered in sexual fantasy now fuels higher mental processes. Decision-making becomes clearer and more intuitive. You develop what ancient texts call the discriminating wisdom, the ability to perceive truth from falsehood, beneficial from harmful, with remarkable accuracy. This heightened discernment extends to all areas of life, from career choices to relationships to spiritual practices. Perhaps most remarkably, you begin to access what can only be called psychic abilities. Enhanced intuition, prophetic dreams, the ability to sense others' emotions and intentions. These capacities emerge naturally as your energy field strengthens and your consciousness expands. Ancient masters understood that sexual energy is fundamentally creative and generative. When properly cultivated, it generates not only physical vitality, but expanded awareness itself. Emotionally, mastering sexual energy brings profound stability and resilience. The emotional roller coaster that characterizes most people's inner lives gives way to a deep, unshakable equanimity. This doesn't mean becoming emotionally numb or detached. Rather, emotions become more refined, more conscious, more purposeful. You experience genuine joy, compassion, and love more deeply while being less reactive to circumstances beyond your control. The compulsive aspects of desire, whether for sexual gratification, material possessions, or external validation, begin to dissolve naturally. This is not through force or suppression, but through the simple fact that when your internal energy is strong and circulating properly, you no longer seek fulfillment from external sources with the same desperate intensity. Spiritually, the transformation is the most profound of all. As sexual energy rises and purifies, it awakens dormant spiritual capacities that have been lying inactive within your consciousness. You begin to experience states of awareness that transcend ordinary waking consciousness. Meditation becomes effortless and deeply absorbing. Your sense of connection to something greater than yourself, whether you call it God, the universe, or pure consciousness, becomes direct and immediate rather than merely conceptual. Many practitioners report experiencing what mystics throughout history have called union, samadhi, or enlightenment. These are not exotic or supernatural states, but natural expressions of human potential that become accessible when sufficient energy is available to support expanded awareness. The process of mastering sexual energy requires understanding the difference between suppression and transformation. Suppression creates internal conflict and eventual explosion. Transformation channels the same energy toward higher purposes while honoring its essential nature. The first key is developing sensitivity to your own energy patterns. Most people are completely unconscious of their energetic state. They don't notice when energy is building, how it moves through their body, or when it dissipates. Learning to feel energy as a tangible presence within you is the foundation of all advanced practice. Begin by simply sitting quietly and placing your attention in your lower abdomen, about 2 inches below your navel. This is the location of your lower dantian, your primary energy center. Breathe naturally and notice any sensations of warmth, tingling, fullness, or movement in this area. Don't strain or force anything. Simply observe with gentle curiosity. As you develop this basic sensitivity, you can begin to notice how different activities, thoughts, and emotional states affect your energy. Sexual arousal naturally draws energy to the genital region, but with practice, you can learn to redirect this energy before it seeks release through ejaculation. The breath is your primary tool for moving energy consciously through your body. When you feel sexual energy building, instead of allowing it to continue its downward movement toward ejaculation, you can use specific breathing techniques to reverse its direction. Inhale slowly and deeply while visualizing energy moving up from your genitals through your spine toward the crown of your head. Exhale while imagining this energy flowing down the front of your body through your heart center and returning to your lower dantian. This creates the basic microcosmic orbit circulation that Taoist masters have used for millennia. The pelvic floor muscles play a crucial role in this process. These are the muscles you would use to stop urination midstream. By learning to contract and relax these muscles consciously, you create a pumping action that helps propel energy upward through your spine. This is not about creating tension or strain, but rather developing conscious control over muscles that most people never think about. Visualization enhances the effectiveness of breath and muscle control exponentially. The mind directs energy where attention goes. When you combine proper breathing and muscle control with clear mental imagery of energy moving through specific pathways in your body, the results become dramatic and unmistakable. Many practitioners find it helpful to visualize sexual energy as golden light, warm honey, or flowing water. Experiment with different images until you find one that resonates with your natural way of perceiving subtle energy. The key is consistency and regular practice rather than perfect technique from the beginning. As you become more skilled at redirecting sexual energy, you may notice periods of intense energy accumulation that feel almost overwhelming. This is natural and indicates that your practice is working. Rather than seeking immediate release, these are the moments when the greatest transformation occurs. By learning to contain and circulate this heightened energy state, you are literally rewiring your nervous system to handle higher levels of life force. The ancient masters understood that this process occurs in stages, each with its own characteristics and challenges. Initially, you may notice that retaining sexual energy leads to vivid dreams, increased emotional intensity, or physical restlessness. These are signs that your energy is seeking new pathways and higher expression. With consistent practice, these initial adjustment symptoms give way to increasing stability and control. You develop what Taoists call the golden pill or elixir of immortality, a state where your energy circulates continuously through the microcosmic orbit without conscious effort. This internal circulation nourishes your entire being while maintaining optimal vitality and awareness. The benefits extend far beyond personal transformation. As your energy field strengthens and stabilizes, you naturally become more attractive to others, not in a superficial sense, but through authentic magnetic presence. People are drawn to those who embody genuine vitality and inner strength. Your relationships deepen and become more meaningful as you interact from a place of fullness rather than neediness. Professionally, the enhanced mental clarity, creative inspiration, and intuitive decision-making that result from energy cultivation often lead to significant advancement and success. When your internal energy is strong and properly directed, obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become manageable challenges. You develop the persistence and vision necessary to manifest your deepest goals and aspirations. The key to sustainable practice lies in understanding that this is not about achieving a particular state and then maintaining it indefinitely. Sexual energy cultivation is a dynamic process that adapts to your changing needs, circumstances, and level of development. Sometimes you may need to focus more intensively on retention and circulation. Other times, conscious release may be appropriate while maintaining awareness and intention throughout the process. Listen to your body's wisdom rather than following rigid rules or schedules. Your energy patterns are unique to you and will evolve as your practice deepens. The goal is not perfection, but increasing consciousness and skill in working with your most fundamental life force. Advanced practitioners often report that sexual energy cultivation becomes effortless and automatic after years of consistent practice. The pathways become established, the circulation flows naturally, and the benefits compound exponentially over time. What begins as a deliberate practice eventually becomes an integrated way of being that permeates every aspect of life. This is the true meaning of mastering sexual energy, not controlling or suppressing it, but understanding its nature so completely that you can work with it as a conscious partner in your spiritual evolution. When you reach this level of mastery, sexual energy becomes a gateway to the infinite creative potential that exists within every human being. The ancient secrets you have discovered today are not meant to remain hidden knowledge. They are practical tools for transformation that become more powerful through application and integration into daily life. As you begin to experience the profound changes that come from conscious energy cultivation, you join a lineage of practitioners stretching back thousands of years, all united by their understanding of humanity's greatest untapped resource. Your journey into sexual energy mastery is ultimately a journey into the deepest mysteries of consciousness itself. As you learn to work with this fundamental force, you discover that the boundaries between physical vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual awakening are artificial constructs. In reality, they are different expressions of the same underlying energy that animates all existence. What happens when you master your sexual energy is nothing less than the activation of your full human potential. You become what you were always meant to be, a conscious co-creator capable of transforming not only your own life, but contributing to the elevation of consciousness throughout humanity. The power has always been within you. Now you know how to access it